Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to repot sweet potato vine and Coleus. Generally, spring and summer are the ideal times for repotting, but early fall is also not bad. You can repot your plants if it's necessary, but yes, I would say it is best to avoid repotting your plants during the winter months when they are in a dormant state, and prefer not to be disturbed unless it's absolutely necessary. This sweet potato vine was grown from last year's tuber, and this year again it gave beautiful foliage. Again, it has covered the whole pot, and it's important when your plant becomes root bound. For their good growth and survival, you need to give your plant a better container, probably an inch or 2 inches bigger than its current pot. And here you can see, let me take this plant out from its current pot. Yes, you can see now it's completely root bound, pot bound, the whole roots are bound. In fact, if you look at it closely, you'll see that the roots have taken up the shape of this planter, the holes, everything is pretty visible. And now I'm gonna just switch this plant into a bigger container. Generally, we should use an inch or 2 inches larger container than its previous pot size. Make sure to have a container with good drainage and place the plant in the middle and backfill the empty spaces. And gently toss the plant a little bit to remove any air pockets. As you can see here, I'm just gonna add a layer of bark as a mulch around the plant soil to maintain moisture levels and suppress weed growth. This will also help in regulating the temperatures. Generally, sweet potato vines are known for their ornamental purposes. They are known for their beautiful foliage, but do you know sometimes they produce flowers? However, these flowers, you won't see them blooming in bulk, but yes, I noticed one or two flowers, which was rare, and I was glad to see it bloom. And generally, these plants will down their leaves if they are experiencing too much cold or they are running out of water. Then also they droop down their leaves, and the droopy leaves of my plants are due to underwatering, and once I water it thoroughly, it's gonna come back, it's gonna bounce back. And now as fall has arrived, the nights are becoming cooler. It is important to reduce your watering frequency. Nowadays I water this plant twice a week, and I always highly recommend check the soil before watering your sweet potato vine, especially during winters or fall when it has become cooler, especially when the nights are slightly cooler. And here you can see this is the full growth of the sweet potato vine for this year. And like I said, fall has arrived, nights are becoming cooler, so probably a few days to go, and then I'm gonna bring this container indoors. I'm gonna trim away all the leaves as the plant would go dormant, and I believe it will come back next year again. So I mean, I really appreciate this plant. At least it has given good foliage for two back-to-back spring. And now here you can see this Coleus is also special because I grew it from seeds, and I repotted them twice since I planted them. Now again they are root bound, and I need to give them more space to grow. For repotting Coleus, here I'm going to be using a well-draining soil, a mix of perlite, worm castings, the basic soil, and you can see here the very texture of this soil is really not binding, and the Coleus plants thrive well in these type of potting mix. And here you can see this Coleus was in a 6 inches pot. Now I'm gonna be placing it into a 3-inch larger than its current pot size. You can see the roots are very much developed, and you can see these are pot bound, and I really don't want to disturb the root system. I'm gonna transplant them in 3 size bigger container. I don't want to separate the root balls or separate these plants, since the very beginning when they were a couple of 5-6 seedlings, and I kept on transferring them in bigger containers without separating them. So at this point of time I don't want to separate them, and I want to let them grow together. And it is important to water your plant thoroughly right after repotting, so that all the roots get saturated with water. And if you see flowers in your Coleus plants, it's completely, subjective. It's your choice. If you want to maintain a compact and bushy Coleus plant with some vibrant leaves, then I highly recommend you should pinch off or prune the flowers. But if you enjoy the look of Coleus flowers and want to encourage pollinators in your garden, then I would say you can choose to leave some of the flowers intact. Ultimately it's your choice, it's your decision. I just cut the flowers off sometimes I just leave them on, depending on the plant's health. If it appears to be leggy or lean, then cutting off the flowers would be great, as the plant would focus its energy on producing new leaves and new foliage. At last, I would share some fall care tips for both plants. However, these plants are sensitive to frost or very cold temperatures, but if you live in an area where winters are mild, you can continue to grow them outdoors. But if frost is a concern, then I would suggest just keep them indoors or make some cuttings so that you can continue growing these plants for the next season. Or if you are bringing them in, just inspect the leaves carefully, look out for the pest, use insecticidal soap, keep them separate from your other house plants for couple of weeks or days. Reduce the watering frequency, as they do not want too much water, especially in fall and winters. Use any mild liquid fertilizer during fall, but don't fertilize them in winters. And if you have any questions, ask them in comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Till then, stay happy and happy planting.